Welcome to the deep dive. So we're shifting gears today, moving straight from maybe denser topics into the really dark, glittering world of Kaylie Smith's instant bestseller, Enchantra.
Yeah, this one made waves. It's the second book in the Wicked Games series. And, I mean, it didn't just hit the list.
No, it launched, like straight to #1, New York Times, USA Today, right out of the gate.
Yeah. So we're digging into why. We've got official excerpts, a pretty detailed review. Our sources are solid.
Right. And we're not just doing a plot summary here. Our mission is to really unpack how it works.
Exactly. How does that blend of romance, suspense, dark fantasy, how does it create something so compelling?
Especially that enemies to lovers thing against, life and death stakes.
Yeah.
What makes that specific combination resonate so much?
Think of it like we're navigating this treacherous maze. It looks gorgeous, high-fashion Italian palace, but it's built on deadly curses.
Okay.
And we're focusing on how that constant danger, the threat of death or worse, how it fuels the passion, basically. Every choice matters. Who you trust. Huge consequences.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's start with the protagonist, Genevieve Grimm.
Wavy.
Right, Vivi. So the sources say at the start she's feeling pretty adrift, like really lost.
Yeah, it's not just general angst. It sounds like her sister recently took over as head of the family, and Vivi feels kind of overshadowed.
Exactly. So when this chance comes up to get away, she jumps at it.
And it sounds like the perfect setup, doesn't it? An invitation to Italy from some mysterious friend of her mom's.
Yeah, she's expecting, passion, magic, luxury,
Yeah.
maybe a fancy midnight ball in some grand palace. Her big escape.
Her chance to step out, find herself.
Except that fantasy kind of shatters the second she arrives. This Italian estate, deep in Tuscany. It's beautiful, sure, but isolated.
And instead of like a welcome drink, she gets Rowan Silver.
Oh, yeah. Described as ruthlessly handsome, tall, dark, and just incredibly rude.
Hostile, even. He literally meets her at the door and tells her to leave immediately.
But Vivi, she's kind of done being pushed around, right? She's just left her family situation.
So she ignores him, ignores this very handsome but very arrogant guy, uses her wits, slips inside anyway.
And that refusal, that's the spark. That's her starting to take back control.
Which is important because that setting, that isolated gothic vibe, it's a huge tell.
Yeah, the sources nail it. Spicy enemies to lovers fantasy romance. They compare it to, what was it?
Ready or Not meets Throne of the Fallen. So you know right away. Suspense, high stakes, dark atmosphere, intense intimacy, it's all there.
That contrast, too. The gleaming gold and marble inside the palace.
Masking something really dangerous underneath, opulence and peril side by side.
Which lead us right into the game she accidentally walks into. Because once she's inside, she realizes this was a huge mistake.
Right. Rowan and his whole family, the Silvers, they're trapped in this insidious game of hide and seek. It's called Enchantra.
Insidious is the word. And the stakes, they're not messing around.
No, the rules are brutal. Basically, only one person wins, period.
And everyone else. Losers, people who don't play,
Yeah.
they get trapped in hell.
Until the whole thing starts over again. So for Vivi, who just showed up, the choice is stark. Join the hunt. Or
probably end up in hell. No escape. So she has to play to survive.
but she can't play alone. Which brings us right back to Mr. Tall, Dark, and Hostile. Rowan Silver.
Ah, the plot twist.
Exactly. There's this one devastating little rule. Lovers may play as a pair.
Okay, I see where this is going.
Right. This rule forces them together, forces them into this necessary alliance they have to pretend.
A fake courtship. Or the review called it a marriage of convenience.
Yeah, something like that. They need to present this united front to survive the game and, navigate this labyrinth together.
So you've got forced proximity layered onto enemies to lovers, all inside a literal death game.
Wow. And the game environment itself sounds intense. They're racing through this huge labyrinth, competing against others. Ophelia Blackwell is mentioned.
So it's not just them against the game, it's them against other players too.
Absolutely. And that lover's rule. For Rowan, initially, it's purely tactical. He needs a partner.
But having to maintain that lie, especially with his family watching.
That's the crucible. It creates this intense emotional pressure cooker. The game's tension becomes their relationship tension.
But that makes sense. And that dynamic, that pressure, that seems to be what makes the book work so well. Let's talk about how their relationship actually shifts.
Because it does shift. That initial loathing, the sources say, it burns off pretty quick, turns into this irresistible attraction.
Amidst the chaos, how does that feel organic?
Well, the sources suggest it's forged in that adversity. It's not just insta-lust. It's the sharp banter, the strategic planning sessions.
Ah, so they connect intellectually too,
Yeah,
while trying not to die.
exactly. That shared danger, the mental sparring, it kind of melts the distrust. It builds real partnership first, and then the passion follows. Or maybe alongside. It's intense.
And meanwhile, the game is changing Vivi too, right? She starts out adrift in her sister's shadow.
But Enchantra forces her towards, like, radical self-discovery. She has to confront her own insecurities.
And her magic. The sources mention latent magical abilities.
Yeah. She has to harness that power to survive. It seems like maybe it was suppressed before, maybe by her family situation.
Could be ancestral magic or just something she never tapped into.
Whatever it is, the game forces it out. And watching her step into that power, that dangerous potential, that's a really strong draw for readers, I think.
So the game isn't just plot, it's a metaphor for survival, for self-discovery.
And for exploring those messy family dynamics, not just her original family, but the idea of found family.
With the Silver siblings.
Yeah.
Even though they're technically competitors.
Yeah, there's this weird kinship that develops, but it's always under threat, right? Because of the game, because survival makes people do questionable things. Who can you actually trust?
That moral ambiguity. Okay, but speaking of dark,
Hmm.
we need to address the content warnings. This is dark fantasy, and sources are clear, it earns the label.
Oh, definitely. This isn't light and fluffy. The warnings are significant. Lots of blood, death.
Light gore, drugs, heavy alcohol use.
Right. And being a spicy romance, there's explicit sexual content. It's intense on all fronts.
And there were a couple of specific things flagged, too, for potential triggers.
Yes. Magically induced horniness, which brings in themes of magical compulsion, maybe non-consent,
Okay, good to know.
and also a brief scene involving an attempted assault.
Yep.
So yeah, this genre doesn't shy away from the really dark aspects of power and desire.
It sounds like it uses that darkness to underscore the stakes. Failure isn't abstract, it's physically and magically dangerous.
Exactly. It grounds everything.
So, okay, intense content, high stakes.
Yeah.
How does the story actually hold together? Structurally,
Yeah.
the reviews seem to like the pacing.
Yeah, it praised the brisk pace, keeping the tension really high.
How does Smith manage that?
It sounds like she alternates really effectively. You get these deadly game sequences, super high tension,
Okay.
and then shifts to strategic planning sessions. Lets you catch your breath, understand the character's thinking, maybe see some of that banter.
Before throwing you back into the danger.
Pretty much. That rhythm keeps it moving. And the plot twists land well, apparently. Keeps the stakes consistently feeling real.
But like any book, even a massive bestseller, there were critiques, right? Areas where reviewers thought it could be stronger.
For sure. One main point was about the game itself, Enchantra.
What about it?
While the tension is high, some felt the actual trials, the challenges within the game, could have been more intricate, more complexly designed.
Ah, so less reliant on just the relationship drama, more on clever puzzles or environmental threats.
Kind of, like boosting the sophistication of the game mechanics could have made the suspense even tighter, maybe?
Okay, that makes sense.
What else? The other big one was world building. Specifically, more context.
For the magic, like Vivi's powers.
Yeah, define her abilities a bit more clearly. And, critically, more history about the Silver family's curse.
Because that curse drives everything for Rowan, right? His ruthlessness, his secrets.
Exactly. If we understood the full weight of that curse, the history behind it, it would apparently add a lot more depth to his character and the whole family's extreme behavior, why they're trapped in this cycle.
So more context would make the motivations hit harder. Got it.
Right. It would just enrich the why behind all the action.
Okay, so let's recap this very intense deep dive. Enchantra. Genevieve Grimm escapes her sister's shadow, lands in a gorgeous Italian palace.
Only to find it's the arena for a deadly game of hide-and-seek where the losers literally go to hell. Enchantra.
Her only shot is survival. A fake courtship with the brooding, hostile, but undeniably handsome Rowan Silver.
And that forced alliance quickly sparks into something real, built on banter and shared danger, even as Vivi starts discovering her own magic.
Which leaves us, and you, the listener, with a pretty juicy final thought to chew on. It's rooted right in that core conflict.
Yeah. Vivi's playing two games, isn't she? There's Enchantra, the explicit death match.
And then there's the emotional game Rowan is playing. The sources are clear. He's keeping secrets, especially when it comes to his ruthless family.
So think about this. The book explores found family, partnership under pressure. But if your survival depends on trusting your partner.
and that partnership is built on a lie. And he's hiding secrets potentially tied to a fatal family curse.
How reliable is that foundation? How real is that found family when it starts with treachery?
It makes you wonder, will Vivi's survival ultimately hinge on trusting this adversary? Or will she need to rely solely on the power she finds within herself?
A deadly choice wrapped in Italian luxury. That's all we have time for on this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time.